Oh, also, by the way, Zach, um, the sound detection, since I'm doing 4 channels, I can talk like this, and then if you don't talk, your 10 seconds can come from that, and then it'll pick up that silence from there. It was really awesome. But anyways, so hey everybody, welcome to the first official podcast. We are live. We've got me, Yuval Parker. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Zach, go ahead, man.
All right, I'm Zach, just a guy.
Just a guy. There it is.
My name is Blake. And you don't need my last name.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. We're gonna leave out last names. That's something that I have. Zach told me to do. So apparently we can't just name drop, but that's all right. But anyways, like I was trying to say, on YouTube, there's a company, the Fine Brother Entertainment. They do the React, Teens React, Kids React, and stuff like that. So they did an episode where they had teens react to Robin Williams movies, and so they had.
Have these teens not seen Robin Williams movies?
But here's the thing: it's like 15 to 18-year-olds, like now, if they knew Robin Williams movies, and so they did Mrs. Doubtfire,
Greatness,
The Birdcage,
Greatness.
They did Good Will Hunting. They ended with Aladdin, obviously,
of course.
And then there was a 5th one.
Did they not do the Ooze?
Did they do Flubber?
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
do
Flubber.
They didn't do Flubber, but there was a they did Jumanji.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that movie.
So,
as a kid.
So it was really funny because, for the most part, most of them got Miss Doubtfire. Most of them got Jumanji, I think. But I think only a 4th of them got Good Will Hunting.
Oh,
and I was just like, ooh, this makes me ooh.
And it's so great.
Ooh, it was so good. Honestly, rest in peace, Robin Williams. But once I heard his passing, I went on Netflix and just binge watched all his movies and stuff like that. Oh, so good.
The man was a genius.
Such a dynamic actor.
What did David Letterman say about it? It was controlled chaos. I think is how he described Robin Williams. Controlled chaos. Robin Williams was always all over the place, but he always knew every little thing that he was doing. He knew.
That's true. Yeah.
And so it was genius, and there will never be anybody like him. So he was one of the great comedic actors. There was only a hand select few that can be as funny as they are, but when they need to, they can turn it on and be have one of the greatest supporting actor performances of all time in Good Will Hunting, and it was fascinating to watch.
Do you guys like Jim Carrey?
Of course.
I like Jim Carrey. He's another really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because, honestly,
they're all just so funny.
They are really funny. Because I think, oh shit, what's the movie where
The Truman Show?
The Truman Show, yeah. I think that was one of his only serious roles. Or
he did that. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That was
a great one.
Oh my god, Zach, have you seen that movie? Eternal Sunlight of the Spotless Mind.
Eternal
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
You guys definitely outclassed me in terms of media.
Well, it's a really fascinating concept. It's in the future, and people can erase you from their memory.
Mm-hmm.
So if Yuval was a dick, I could erase him from my memory completely,
and just completely forget who I am.
Nothing he could do about it to stop me.
Do they forget everything or select things?
Literally, golly, Blake. All right, we gotta wait. Oh, Blake, go ahead and answer it. It's your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's really nice. But anyway, so this movie is you have your memory, you have your history, you have everything, but you can specifically target that whatever BS science that they had, you can specifically target a strain of memory that involved the person, completely wipe it out. So the idea was Jim Carrey, and I forget who the actress who played the woman, but
Kate Winslet.
Sure, there it is. Look at that guy. He's on spot with the movie knowledge. And so they both erased memories of their lovers. And do you care if we spoil it for you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I'm almost definitely.
So spoiler alert, everybody. You got to fast forward probably about 5 minutes if you don't want this movie spoil. I mean, it came out in the 90s?
No, it's Eternal Sunshine. It was
early 2000?
2013.
No, was it really? Oh my gosh. Wow. It seems like a movie
let me fact check that real quick.
Fact check. There it is. But anyways, they erased each other from each other's minds. They were lovers, and I forget, they got into a big fight or something like that.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh,
I thought it was much recent.
I told you it was an early 2000s movie. Because pretty much
you said 90s first.
Okay, I did say
fair.
90s.
But we're meeting halfway.
Honestly, it's like movies that came out after 2010 just lost a certain etiquette to it, and it's really weird. I'll talk about that in a second. But
sure, we'll get to that.
But anyways, yeah. So they erased each other from each other's mind, and they end up finding each other again, and they end up falling in love all over again. But then
she wants to erase him from her mind, and I don't remember why.
They got into a fight or something like that.
Okay, well,
and
the whole thing is about Jim Carrey trying to get her to remember him or to not erase him from her memory.
Yeah. So, but you don't find out that they're lovers until like later in the movie. But
it's a pretty
it was a really good.
It's a pretty little
and
good
then
little twist.
And then Elijah Wood is in it, and he tries to steal the girl by recreating the memories that she would fall in love with him. And honestly, he was like a really skeevy guy, and I was just like, oh, but Elijah Wood, why?
No, why? Frodo, no.
Frodo, why? But, okay. So, I'm eating a popsicle right now. It's really good.
This is going great.
It is going really great. But anyway, so Zach, and Blake, I'm sure you've already heard of this theory or whatever since you're a big movie buff guy. So there was I was talking to my friend like about a year ago or something, and he was saying that movies up until probably the early 2000s, maybe 2007, 2006, 2007, there was a huge dynamic shift in the movie industry because if I don't know, there's a lot of classic, really good Oscar-winning, like great movies that are all in the 90s, like prevalent. Mm-hmm. Sure, there are a bunch of shitty movies in the 90s. You got
Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, Few Good Men. You got like butt ton.
Great, like, and the dialogue and the writing.
Yeah, there's a lot of originality going on.
Exactly, and so now what you have I would say a large part of the reason, and I'm sure there are other factors to it, but now you have these huge blockbuster action films, millions of dollars, explosions, chase sequences, blah, blah, blah. Not that great of dialogue because we're now appealing to an international world where people in India, people in China, people or wherever, they're going to see these movies. But, the depth of conversation that you have in Good Will Hunting, it's totally flies over people's heads in translation, and it flies over because I know I forget the term, but it's God, that Archer made fun of it in a few of those episodes where he went to the pirate island, or he became the pirate king.
Oh yeah,
idioms. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so stuff like that is lost in translation, and so. You have all these really great stories and these really great plot devices, which, some guy in China is not going to totally understand as if written in English. So now you have like the Avengers. Well, sure, it's a great movie, but why is it a great movie? Because there's action, there's violence, there's, your traditional tropes of romance and blah, blah, blah. And those are stuff universally everyone can get. And so that's why I think there was a downshift. I want to say probably 2007, 2008, I think was the shift where, now that you're appealing to a global market instead of just you having, and that's why you have all these kind of indie movies, or not indie movies necessarily, but kind of like,
but off of like the, what's it called? What's that famous film festival?
Venice.
See, I guess,
or the Sundance,
and then and like, because like there was one I forget the name of it, but it was called like Moshe or something like that, and it was about this rabbi who grew up in New York, and I just read like the plot on Wikipedia because it was right there. But he grew up in New York, and he was raised by a challenge because his wife divorced him, and so he's trying to connect with his kid, stuff like that. And it was apparently it's like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, just
is it called The Serious Man?
No.
No, it's actually, because there was a movie exactly like that about a Jewish guy that was just struggling. His whole life was just going to absolute crap. And I think the Coen brothers directed it, and it was called The Serious
Man. The Coen brothers touches gold.
Oh yeah,
but
except for, what was that one movie they did with Tom Hanks, and
I don't know.
It was such a flop. Hold on, we'll find it.
But yeah. So but you have those. It's a great movie, but it's not. You're not going to see that movie in like Brazil or something, just because again, it's a very niche thing. But I just thought it was really interesting to bring up because I think nowadays when I think of current movies, I think of like these. There's going to be explosions, there's going to be chase sequences, and there's going to be action shots, and there's going to be violence, and not maybe intense violence, like crazy diabolical violence, but like, it's just stuff that everyone can point to the screen and say, oh my gosh, this is insane, or something like that.
Yeah, the thing about those movies, though, is they get remembered for a couple of years, and it's hard to pinpoint how much these big budget superhero movies are going to make an impact on us in the future, especially with DC. It's looking really rough for them. But let's just take Marvel, for example. They did something incredible that no one has ever done before and made these huge, big blockbuster movies and whatnot. And so it's kind of hard to see where those will... I mean, we look at those now as badass action movies that are amazing numbers-wise. Like, what did Captain America Civil War... It went over $1 billion or whatever. But I still think that there are still classics nowadays. I think there are movies nowadays that have been made in the past 10 years that when we're old, we'll be showing our kids these saying, man, have you seen The Social Network? You've never seen The Social Network yet?
Oh, but The Social Network, great. When did that come out? Like
2010, 2011?
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Or The Dark Knight. I mean, it's a big budget superhero movie,
Knight
but
really good.
You can't deny its cultural significance.
Think about it. Plot devices, sure. The Joker was fantastically written, I think. But like in terms of just other than the Joker, what dialogue that was like.
Well, have we ever seen Batman go down a road where he's been beaten mentally? We've never seen that in a movie before. Batman has always come back.
But okay, so then I guess
so the plot. I get what you're saying. The dialogue between Alfred and Batman you've never seen before. Christopher Nolan did that brilliantly. The film obviously revolves around the Joker's dialogue and how brilliant that was. So I guess you kind of got me there, but.
I'm not trying to get you.
Well, I'm saying like in terms of dialogue with Christopher Nolan, he has a weird, almost framework style whenever he writes dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
That it's very metaphors are very metaphors aren't used often, but when they are, it's really important. You got to listen up. He did that a lot in Interstellar.
Interstellar was a good movie. Zach, have you seen Interstellar?
I did not see Interstellar.
Oh, it's great.
You are Mr. I don't watch media.
Or Inception is another great example.
I fell asleep during Inception.
Really?
Yeah,
I saw that one.
Because I think I saw it twice, and both times I fell asleep through them.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was an awesome concept, and it was really cool, and it was interesting, and I think it was a great because you said that was a Christopher Nolan film,
written and directed.
Yeah, and it was great. It was like. There were some parts where I fell asleep. I was just like, "Oh, okay, all right."
Oh yeah, it's a long movie for sure, but it kept me going every time I watch it. I have to sit down and I have to watch Inception now. Like if I see a little clip of it, I'm like, "Well, I'm watching Inception."
I'm watching Inception.
I can't rewatch movies. I already have a hard enough time watching movies.
Yeah,
rewatching is agony for me.
So why don't you like watching movies? You just
honestly, I don't know. I because the thing is that once I actually go and see a movie and like start watching the movie, I'm usually having a good time.
Right.
But for me to actually get up and go and do it, and it's not being lazy because it's really not much effort to go and sit down in a movie theater.
They just don't grab your attention.
It's just
after the second time.
Or the first time. Movies in general, they just don't. They have to be really interesting.
Sure.
To me and. Or they have to have a niche. So, like, comedy movies, I can usually go see. But even that, it should be something really funny. And I've
like the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, no. Or it's got to be something so grand from like a prior experience that I'm just like, oh my god, I have to go. Like Star Wars.
Sure.
Or The Raid.
The Raid?
Are they making a sequel to that?
What's The Raid?
The Raid 2 You haven't seen The Raid?
No, there was Raid 2 coming out?
The Raid 2 is already out.
What? When did that happen?
It was years ago.
Oh, no shit.
1 to 2 years ago.
I'm dumb. I haven't seen the second one.
And it
What's
was
The Raid?
Insane.
Okay, I need to...
You know that...
The Raid?
John Wick?
John Wick, yes.
Think John Wick on pure... Like, on every drug that you could ever think of. That's The Raid. It is...
Was it an Indonesian film?
I don't know. It's Asian. I know it's Asian.
I don't know where from. It's a.
Yeah, like
no,
it's
not an
like you gotta watch
highly underrated.
You gotta watch it with subtitles. It's not underrated. It is a masterpiece.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nobody
knows about it because it is an
cult
Asian
classic.
Film.
No, it shouldn't be, but
it shouldn't be a cult classic. But
it's got a fan base, and that fan base is where it's
insane. Like me, a person that never sees movies, my dad was like, "Hey, you really got to see this movie." Like so much that he pretty much forced me to by grounding me.
It has to be one of the best
and
technical
when
action
I watched
movies of all time.
And it was done on a super low budget. There's so many things to give it commendations for. I'm telling everyone right now, if you have not seen The Raid, this is from Movie Not Goer Zach. Holy shit.
You can curse. It's okay, Zach. Holy fucking shit.
No, it's more. There's more effect if you.
It's kind of like.
Wait. Okay. So wait. Which one's better? That or the Emoji Movie.
I don't know.
Pick five.
Patrick
Pick
Stewart.
five.
Patrick Stewart's not in the raid.
Yeah,
That's true. Patrick
So,
Stewart's not
TJ
in the
Miller
raid.
and Patrick Stewart.
Didn't
are
even
not
think about
in
that,
the
did you?
raid. I like TJ Miller. I
think
seen
TJ
him
Miller's
on-
funny.
I haven't seen him on the Eureka or wherever the show he's from.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Well, isn't there Zach? Didn't you watch a show called Eureka?
Yeah, I watch.
Yeah.
Now I do watch TV shows.
Okay.
But I mean, admittedly, I don't watch that much TV either. But when I do, I'll watch the series. Eureka is also lovely.
Is it good?
Delightful little.
What was?
It's not like fantastic, but it's got a good cast, good character. It's
Yeah.
just I call it delightful because it's one of those films that's, or not films, but TV shows that's not too stressful, not too drama,
Easy
but
going, just watch
it's
it and have a good time.
You watch it and you have a good time.
Well-
It's nice.
What was the last show that you watched?
I'm watching Parks and Rec right now, but
Again,
bits,
or for the first time?
first time,
Oh.
bits and pieces. I'm on like season 6, so I've been through. But I watch very
Love that
slowly.
show.
I don't binge watch. I don't sit there watching a season at a time. I watch like
Well,
an episode every week.
What
or
I've
something.
just recently blew through was like two Netflix shows that just like 10 episodes or whatever. But then there was actually a new show. Have you guys heard of The Good Place?
Mm-mm.
It's got Ted Danison from Cheers. Kinda like Cheers.
I've heard of it. What's that about though?
So it's pretty much you die and you go, and it's the afterlife. And so the afterlife, you're either in the good place or the bad place. And if you out of your whole life, if you've done good and you've got all these karma points essentially. If you get like over 1 million points or whatever, and you're in the top tier, you go to the good place. Everyone else goes to the bad place. So it's the story of this lady who, at least the introduction, I'll tell you, is she gets called into the good place, and her name, I'm blanking out on her name. It's like Brianna Stooley or something.
Sounds good.
I don't
Brianna
know.
Stooley.
Sure, yeah. And so she gets called in, and that's her name, but she's the wrong person. And so so the story is kind of like, okay, well, how'd she get here? What happened? What was the mistake? And then trying to cover up her
So
tracks.
she's supposed to be in the bad place?
Yeah, she's supposed to be in the bad place.
That's funny.
And so it's like, okay, well, what happened? And so it's a really good show. They ended the season like with an interesting twist that I didn't think would work, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, what are they going to do? Like, I'm genuinely curious on how they're going to do it, because they set it up to a point where it's not just a traditional ending where it's like, okay, resolution, whatever. It's literally something happens.
Cliffhanger.
I wouldn't even say cliffhanger. It's just because you can
Curiosity cliff.
yeah,
like Inception, where it's a cliffhanger, but it also could be a resolution.
yeah. You can walk away from the show after the first season and say, okay, I get it. This is what's going to happen. But they built the story and the characters to a point with,
It's like,
well, you want to know what's going to
maybe,
happen. Yeah,
right,
like
right.
like it could go this way, it could go that way. Well, I want to watch the next season to find out. And unfortunately, it came out in 2016, so I think they're still on their hiatus or whatever. So
Is it on? It's a Netflix show.
it's not a Netflix show. I think it's like 13
CW?
episodes. I think CW, maybe Fox.
Okay.
But it was really good. So that was a show I binge watched, and it was très magnifique. But
I don't speak Italian.
are you being ignorant right now? Are you ignorant? But yeah, I really like shows that they're able to just pull you in, and it's not like, because like with Parks and Rec, I think I maybe saw the first season of
You didn't like it?
It's not
I
that
will
didn't-
say the first season of Parks and Rec was utter garbage. I actually
Really?
I stopped watching it,
Uh-huh.
and I only came back to after at some point because I was bored.
Sure.
And season 2
It
was
got
a little,
better though, right?
It got so much better.
Really?
Season
Okay.
2 was still a little bit but
Season 3.
once you hit, by the time you hit season 3 and forward, one of the greatest shows.
Really,
ever.
I think it's whenever Ben Wyatt and what's his name?
I think that was season 2, but they were still developing them in season 2. And
once
it
they
wasn't
got there, I
perfect.
thought it started clicking up because it was
It was
really
it was
funny.
getting better at season 2, but
Mhm.
I don't consider it like it wasn't at that point where it was like, yes.
I can just
Sure.
watch a whole montage of Ron Swanson just saying Ron Swanson things,
Well,
and I'll be okay.
I do, because I get his character just from this first season, so like I do find those humorous and I do enjoy that.
It
I
gets
just-
so much better though. Like if
Alright.
you only watch the first season, I really can't explain enough to you.
Honestly,
Every
I think
character becomes so good. And
No, I understand.
They do a really.
I
good
wasn't
job.
really clicking with Amy Poehler. Really, the only people I was clicking with was Aziz and Chris Pratt, and just because I love them as
That's
like
all you
people.
need.
Yeah,
You're not
So,
there yet. You
you-
gotta.
you're right.
You gotta keep going.
Um,
I encourage you to give it a try.
all right. Well, yeah.
Because it's like, I know you love The Office.
Oh yeah.
It really gets the
Well,
feel
I know
good
it was
Office vibe of like
it was
Legends.
supposed to be like a quote unquote spin off because
I don't know about spin-off.
No, yeah.
They definitely modeled it after it.
No.
But it
Originally,
wasn't the same.
in its development and stuff like that, the producers and I believe the actual writer, they were wanting to have it be in the same universe, so to speak.
Okay.
And in The Office, and this is just kind
I
of
thought Tina Fey was the one who wrote Parks and Rec, though, or she's one of them.
no, she's on 30 Rock or something, right?
She is on 30 Rock,
Right.
but I thought she also played a part in Parks
Well,
and
if she
Rec.
did, then
Check that
but this
out.
was the original intention was
because she wasn't part of The Office. That's
No,
why
no,
I'm
she wasn't.
confused.
But so the thing was because it was definitely inspired with the whole mockumentary by The Office. But there's just a kind of a tidbit. They were originally going to have the copier machine that was in The Office because at some point they replace it whenever whatever when they take it over by Sabre, they get a new paper copier. But that old paper copier was supposed to be in Parks and Rec, and so to kind of have a nod to like the fans that move over from The Office to Parks and
I
Rec
see.
is supposed to be in that same universe. But I think some executives and producers were just like, no, we got to make a separation. We got to make them distinct shows. I forget. There was some YouTube video I was watching, and it was like,
I wouldn't be surprised. It definitely did look like it was modeled after it.
oh no, for sure. And I think it was supposed to be because the original what is her name? The girl who played Karen, the girl who's dating Chris Pratt at the beginning of the show.
Oh,
April.
Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones, yeah.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
she was then in the.
She was in The Office, and so
Yeah.
the whole point was she left Dunder Mifflin and she went over to this
Be a nurse.
area and to start working there. And so,
as a nurse.
Well, yeah.
well, her life was she was supposed. I think she was originally supposed to be in the municipal. I forget whatever Parks and Rec department.
Yep.
But then they again tried to make the distinction, and so she was a totally separate character. But I think she was supposed to play
Her character
from The Office.
I see.
So yeah, but yeah,
Interesting.
and so that's why I was originally drawn to it. I was like, oh, this is like blah blah blah.
Give it a chance.
I'm not saying I'm not giving it a chance. It's just there's other stuff out there.
Well, now that you're done with The Good Place,
Yeah,
looks
that's
like your
true.
schedule is kind of clear.
God dang it.
Dude,
You're right.
you gotta watch Parks and Rec. I'm not even done yet,
Uh-huh.
so I'm not even at there. But
Sure.
it's so good, dude.
No, I
It's so
believe
good.
you. I believe you. I've
It is-
heard a lot of.
It
Good
is on the
things.
same level of The Office,
Mhm.
except there aren't any bad episodes.
No, The Office is not on the same level. The Office is
Yeah,
in my
The
heart.
Office
will
has
be-
some bad episodes.
The
that are
Office
just
has
kind of
great episodes,
meh,
24/7,
and The Office
all
also
day,
has
all day, every
garbage
day. I'm
final
gonna
two seasons.
I will defend The Office left and right.
All
for
right,
you, Zach.
we won't talk about this because this is just gonna.
It's literally
It's
gonna
gonna
be the
devolve.
next hour of just The Office is good. No, The Office is bad. No, The Office is good. No, The Office is bad. No,
all
The
right,
Office
all
is
right.
good.
Where were we before
it's okay.
this?
Well, I have a thing that I want to move on because again, I have a few topics that I came up last minute to,
All right.
not last minute, but So okay, so I forget if we talked about this in the first shitty pilot episode that no one knows except for a few select people.
What are you talking about? This is the pilot.
You're right.
Where's Gabe?
So tell me if we talked about like. Oh, I think we did. The music now versus what we listened to.
No, we never talked about that. I would love
really?
to talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, probably elementary school.
Yo,
middle
by the
school.
way, rest in peace to Walter Becker or Walton Becker from Steely
Just
Dan.
Van Ant, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad talked to me about that. I
Mhm.
think on the weekend whenever I saw him,
Yeah.
he was just like, "Hey, by the way," and I was like, "Oh,
Great.
makes me sad."
At 67
Fantastic.
too.
Yeah.
That's so young.
Yeah, well, he did live a drugged up
He did
party life.
He was part of Steely Dan, but he lived life like an Allman Brother, so that's what you get.
That's true. But yeah, so like early elementary school, middle school, the type of music that we listen to versus to listen to now. Because, for example, for me, in middle school, I think I listened to only the Beatles, and that was it. And I was just like, my dad loaded my iPod with a couple other. I think the first album I listened to was Revolver, and I was just like, oh my gosh, who are these people? Blah blah blah.
Oh,
Beatles.
so sad.
No, okay, all right. Side story, real quick. I had spent so many years trying to get Zach to like the Beatles, like so many years, going through all of their songs, all their albums.
He made me listen to every single one, and
Not every single one.
I just don't get it. They're
It's
garbage.
so good. He did like off of the.
Oh,
No. Hold on. He did like off of Sgt. Pepper's album "When I'm 64."
Yes,
because-
because it's ragtimey, and it it's fun
It was
sounding.
kind of a jazzy.
You don't
not
like
jazzy.
any of the songs off
He
of the
doesn't like-
one album.
He doesn't like any of
Those
them.
are
The-
greatness.
The
He
Beatles
doesn't-
songs,
he
I
doesn't
don't,
like any
I don't know
Beatles.
what it is about it. I don't know if it's just their general acoustic sound on top of them not being very good singers, or if it's just like I don't get it. It's just something about them I just honestly don't like.
No, and
I
that's
just-
and
I
I've
don't
and I've,
get-
I've
Because so many people love them, and I'm just like, I
I've
don't.
spent so many years trying to cope and like understand his philosophy behind it, and I just realized that Zach's a unique individual.
I will say this: I think John Lennon is a little overrated. I think John Lennon, especially in his older years, especially
Oh yeah,
after
no,
the
he
Beatles,
said he was bigger than Jesus, and
after the Beatles, he and Yoko started doing their crap.
Their hippie
I
movement.
thought, like, I think Imagine is a crappy song. I do. I don't.
think you're full of shit.
I don't like Imagine.
I think
I
you're full
think
of
it's such a
shit.
fairy tale BS song.
It's a good song.
Um,
It's got a great message, though. Sure, is it a realistic message? Probably not.
Of course not.
But it's
But
it's simple, and it's stripped down to
It's got a good design to it.
it's stripped down to a man wanting peace. That's all it was.
If I had to choose a song, Imagine would be the one. But I still don't like it because of the general melody is kind of and then John Lennon I don't like his singing.
There's
I
his
don't.
album that was it the Imagine album, or I forget what the album is called.
Don't
But
ask me.
there are a few songs that I was just like, this is alright, and then there are other songs where I was like, it's okay. But Give Peace a Chance, that was a good song. Where he
I
gets
like
everybody, all we are saying is give peace a chance. It's just, I don't know, each song just had a good message, and it was like, that was it. He was a hippie. If you didn't like him for his hippiness, that's fine. I mean, it's
Okay,
whatever.
good.
But okay. So back to my original question, not tangenting off of
Right. What did we listen to while we were younger, and how did that change as we grew up?
Zach. What did you listen to?
I remember very clearly, actually.
Oh,
Very clearly that up until about 8th grade, and once I hit 9th grade, I actually really didn't listen to much music.
Really?
At all. There were a few songs that I'd listen to, and I would be like, "Oh, that's a song. That's fun."
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't take an active part in searching out for.
But
music.
you were in band.
I was in band.
And how could you not listen to music if you're in band?
Funny you say that because I just didn't. I didn't really. I listened to the only music that I really listened to was the music that we played in band.
Really?
I didn't actively search out music at all.
You didn't have like an iPod or something to play.
It's
your
honestly
favorite songs?
something very strange that I don't understand about myself. Because other than that, the only music that I listened to was video game music.
Sure.
And
everybody
and
listens to video game
even
music.
well, right, but even that, I didn't like actively search out the video game music.
Sure.
And be like, oh, what was that cool tune from my back?
Well, I mean, did your dad ever play music in the house, or
Yes,
mom play music in the house?
My dad had a Dave Brubeck CD, a Take 5 CD, the Four Seasons.
Oh, Four Seasons are good.
Those were the main things that I remember.
Don't cry.
So I had I had some exposure to like the concert stuff.
Sure.
To some jazz, and then to some piano-y jazz.
Well,
or piano in general.
So then what? Do you think that molded to the music that you listen to now, or did you branch off independent to your own?
I mean, I think I was gonna end up listening to that music anyway, but it just happened to be that he had that music.
Sure.
The other one being Evanescence, which was I hated that one. That one I actively did not like.
Sure. Yeah.
Wake me up.
But you love the Goofy cover though, right? Wake me up inside. I can't hold up.
Save me.
Save me. Yeah, you gotta love that, right?
My gosh, that one was painful. But so yeah, up until like 9th grade, I didn't really actively search out or look for music.
Okay. Well, so then what was
after that point?
What was the band that tipped you over?
It wasn't really anything that tipped me over, I don't think, because
you're about to say after that point.
Because after that point, once I hit 9th grade, I did start listening to music, but it was all over the place, just random. Probably to make up for the fact that I hadn't listened or searched for music, because I basically discovered this. Because this was at this point, most people had started having smartphones.
Sure.
The internet.
What are you talking about?
The internet at this
point was bigger. I didn't have a smartphone until yesterday. I grew up with a flip phone my whole life.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I didn't have a smartphone until.
Good for you, actually.
Well, I had a flip phone.
Actually,
where porn actually cost you money.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I just started looking up all sorts of music, and I was open to pretty much everything except things that did not sound good.
Like the Beatles.
But I had already had people try to force that down my throat.
Sure.
Maybe that was the problem. Beatles fans came on too strong to you.
Maybe so. But it wasn't me just trying to be like, oh, I'm going to be that guy that just doesn't like him. I just legitimately didn't like, because Yuval knows we've
I've played music and I've sent him links. Hey, try this song.
We would do remixes, and it's just something about it.
So Hey Jude does nothing for you. Not even a wiggle down there.
Oh, that
was a big wiggle for me. I learned to play that song on the piano. That was as much of a wiggle it gave for me.
One of the cringiest ones I remember was "Lucy in the Sky."
That was a good song. That's a good song.
That one was one of the ones that really hurt me to listen to.
It was a good song.
But anyway, so I was all over the place because, when I say all over the place, it was all over the place. Friggin', we're talking like old 1700s music, all the way up to modern
Zach, what are you listening to? Mozart's Symphony in D minor. Oh
yeah,
cool, man.
Dude,
that's what's up.
It's rocking.
But it wasn't like that. No, I listened to all it'd be like jazz, just modern rock.
Well, but I mean now it's mainly primarily you like jazz and that kind of.
I definitely have some primary things that I like.
Because we don't talk about rappers and stuff. You don't
That's
like
true,
to talk about Lil Wayne or whatever.
But it's not that I don't like rap. It's just that there's either I like less
you have a particular
songs
taste,
or it's a particular taste, or it's just something that I'm not into it right now.
Sure.
Because I was super into electro swing and like.
Yeah, but electro swing's good though.
Electro swing is dope as hell, but it was also like, you have a focus on that genre of music.
Sure.
And now, well, not now, but like the next year, I was more into, I don't know, concert music or symphonic.
Mm-hmm.
And then like for now, I'm super into lo-fi right now.
Well, I think everybody's into lo-fi. Blake, do you listen to lo-fi?
I don't know what that is.
All right, we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that in a moment. But your interests change. And,
sure.
But I still like everything. I
Right.
definitely can like almost everything from every genre, with the exception of screamo, because I don't like people screaming at me.
Well, but what about Avenged Sevenfold? Because they have like screaming in it.
But see, here's the thing. So there are some certain hybrids that I'm okay with, like Avenged Sevenfold, where like it can sound really good.
Yeah.
But there's still like one of their songs was in a Nazi zombie map.
Oh yeah,
it was super cool because I remember they had a riff that was super like Castlevania. It was Castlevania-esque.
It was on Mob of the Dead where he's like, "I'm not ready to die,"
and it had a really, but like some of the heavy metal, it had some really good riffs, super good melodies. But then I'd hear a screamo part or a scream part, and it would actually turn me off, and I'd be like,
"Wow, lost away in time."
All right, you can calm down. No. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Just gotta do the opposite to counter it.
Well, but now it's like you're so invested in music now. Well, I don't know like how invested you are, but like when you were younger, were you just not interested? You were busy doing other stuff.
I have no idea, Yuval. I really don't know. I just remember that when I was younger, I just didn't really care.
You liked the sound of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 more than.
I don't know. I just didn't really care for music. I guess maybe I was doing other stuff. I don't know, but I was like 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that much to Call of Duty and Halo.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Stuff. So I don't know.
I know you like the Halo 3 theme.
Well, yeah. Nowadays, I freaking love video game soundtracks. But everybody loves.
That's true.
Especially Halo. Everyone loves the Halo soundtrack. That was fundamental to a lot of people's childhoods.
Totally butchering it.
I don't know. Just now I love all sorts of music, with the exception of screamo and usually heavy metal. But there's some that I like if it's got nice riffs.
Sure.
Good melody.
So Zach, you know my dad, right? You're pretty familiar with him. You've had conversations with him.
Good old Mr. Parker loves Diablo 3, and it just hurts my soul.
Okay, not that, but it blew my mind because like a while back, when I was trying to diversify my music and stuff. But he told me that he listened to like metal growing up, and that just blew my mind because he's into like jazz, funk, kind of some rock. I mean, he likes Muse and stuff like that. But when he was just like, Metallica, Anthrax, whatever, I'd listen to that shit. And I was just like, what? What?
There is a stereotype where like I know for some reason, especially among programmers, that a lot of programmers, they got Mountain Dew and they listen to heavy metal and rock and stuff, and And I don't know why that is, but it seems to be very common amongst those kinds of people.
What do you mean those kinds of people?
That are. I mean, come on, your
What do
dad's
you
a little.
mean,
Your
you
dad's a
people?
little nerdy.
I
He's a
mean, I
little
think
nerdy.
we're all nerdy.
We are all nerdy, but there are different degrees.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And,
well, but
and I think something about him is just attractive.
well,
to
there's a guy at my work, and literally whenever he's in his office, you just hear like heavy electric metal music, like this combo flux mix or something, and it's just that's it. And he'll be playing it, and he doesn't close his door, so it's like I'm
Everyone
pretty
can hear
close.
it.
Well, yeah, I can hear it at least from my office or my cubicle, just because I'm like really close to him. But I'm just like, oh, that's really interesting. He's not like rocking out to like, whatever classical Chopin. Man, I love Chopin. I'm gonna keep name dropping Chopin all I want.
So Yuval's in his Chopin phase.
I've always honestly, when I took that class, I took 19th century music, and we discussed all the composers and the all the way from the Russians to the Europeans to the wherevers. Yeah, what's up?
Wait just a second before we continue. Mr. Parker, if you're listening to this, I just want to let you know, but even though I've called you nerdy, I still love you, and please don't change yourself. You're beautiful, baby.
Thanks, Zach. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. But yeah, so it's just like we were listening to the what is it? The Noctur or something. I forget the symphony. Yes. Oh, yes. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. But it's just I just listened to the crap out of it, and we'd have like these really awesome just open discussions about like what does this make you feel? How does this sound? What do you think they're like it was just an honest discussion.
How
It was just
does
like,
this make you feel?
Were you laying on a couch?
No,
you
we
listening
were
to it?
very uncomfortable chairs that I've fallen asleep in. I can fall asleep in about anything, but we're getting off topic here. Nocturne number 2 in E flat major. It was really good, and just similar stuff like that. Just I was like, that's really good. So I'm gonna name drop Chopin just because he's like honestly the guy that I remember the most out of that class. But totally derailed from what we were originally talking about.
Yeah, how did we change? Okay, I've definitely
Music
been
as
over mine.
kids
You done?
and
Well, but
versus
now Blake. Well, I know we're done about that, but go ahead, Blake. Shine your bright diamond.
Let's see. When I was a kid, I had one of those little iPod shuffles. That's one of the things I remember. I would listen to it before any baseball games, and I remember 3 or 4 songs I would just listen to over and over again, and probably because they were really simple, they were catchy or whatever. I think it was "Thanks for the Memories" by Fall Out Boy.
Wow.
Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
Wow, so you were like a emo punk.
No, it was, yeah, kind of.
Wait, did you play RuneScape?
Welcome to the Black Parade by
Those are all
My
like
Chemical Romance.
emo punk metal bands.
That's because they were catchy and they were big songs.
I have to admit, those
no,
were
that's
catchy.
Panic at the Disco, dude. That ain't
Girls
me.
in the drop, damn. Well, it's all they all sound the same. Like
That's
honestly,
what I'm
the
saying.
singers-
It was really catchy, and then
Sure, it's
I
all
think in
hype.
the 4th grade, I remember getting introduced
4th
to
grade.
AC/DC.
Whoa, you did this earlier?
Oh yeah,
I don't
I
know.
remember because I was 2nd or 3rd grade listening to that music.
Oh, because like your
Holy.
sister was listening to it.
Was that a dig? Like I'm listening to chick music or something?
I don't know. I'm just because I just
No, it was just on the radio and
Oh, okay.
on the way, whatever. I would
Sure.
listen to it, whatever. And then in the 4th grade is when I heard "You Shook Me All Night Long" by AC/DC for the first time, and I begged my parents, "You need to buy me the Back in Black album, please."
Oh man.
And I listened to that nonstop. And then I remember hearing "Rock You Like a Hurricane" by the Scorpions, and I listened to that greatest hits album nonstop.
Mhm.
And then my dad kind of started introducing me to the great bands of the 60s and 70s, like Zeppelin, The Who, Pink Floyd, and that's when I kind of just fell in love with classic rock and 90s grunge and 80s rock that wasn't horrible and corporate. And then
How dare you?
yeah, dude, 80s rock is so bloated and gross.
I love my bloated 80s rock. There's nothing better than Whip It.
Dude, I
Devo
love Devo.
is not rock.
Devo
Devo
is
is its
beautiful.
own pedestal.
Devo is
is
beautiful.
magic,
I love
and I
Devo.
consider everything in the 80s to be
Bum, bum,
rock,
bum, bum,
because why not?
Bum,
Because
bum,
obviously they didn't give a
bum,
shit.
bum,
Love Devo.
bum, 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 bum.
Even the Cars, like I loved listening to the Cars. And then nowadays, I guess I listen to that and more blues stuff nowadays.
Blues.
Oh yeah,
Name a blues artist.
Robert Johnson.
Name another blues artist.
Are you
Howard King.
gatekeeping? Stop gatekeeping him.
Another blues artist.
BB King.
Another blues artist.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Name 5 people who played the trumpet.
You need to stop.
Anyway.
He's already outclassed me. Come on, man.
No, you're right. I don't listen to blues.
And that kind of got, once you combine blues with nowadays people taking influences from those artists, you have like the Black Keys, Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Name another band member of the Black Keys.
Patrick, what's his name? Carney.
Gotcha.
Patrick Carney.
Go.
And then Gary Clark Jr. And I can listen to John Mayer live, but I don't.
I love John Mayer.
I can listen to him live just because he goes above and beyond with his guitar work, and it's awesome.
He's because like I feel like a lot of people don't understand like how brilliant of a guitar player he is. It's like you just hear the whole band and the whole accompaniment, and he's like, sure he'll have really nice riffs and stuff like that, but like playing live, I bet he's
got it down.
Genius.
And then there was actually a quote from Eric Clapton. It was right after Eric Clapton had his last Chicago Blues Festival, and John Mayer came and performed, and they were planning to record something for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of some guy. And John Mayer went in and did the whole song that he was supposed to record in 2 takes. And Eric Clapton was like, I don't even know this. He's a master guitarist. I don't know if he knows how good he really is.
Oh yeah. And
he's underrated because he's more pop than he is anything. But if you watch videos of him playing with Albert King and B.B. King, he's right up there on par with those guys in terms of technical work. He's awesome.
All right. So other than blues, what else you got?
I like rock nowadays. Like I love Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin,
Is
Chevelle.
Disturbed really rock?
Yeah, it's
They're
metal
like-
rock.
like
I thought
metal
that
rock.
was metal.
Metal rock.
Sure.
These are the guys that did Down Under or whatever.
Down
right?
with the
Down-
sick.
Down with
yeah,
the sickness.
no,
Ooh.
men without shirts did Down Under.
No, that was Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think you're thinking of Under the Bridge.
you're
Oh,
right.
Under the Bridge. Well, Red Hot Chili Peppers too. You didn't leave
No,
them out.
I wasn't thinking about that.
You're thinking of
I'm
Down with the
I'm thinking about
Sickness.
Down with the Sickness.
You think
but,
of
but I
Australia?
but I forgot. I got
Down
the songs
under
mixed up.
laddie. Wait, that's not Australian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crikey, crikey, laddie,
All
crikey.
right. Go continue on.
Oh, sorry. Obviously, old country. I love old country. I hate new country.
I am with you 100%. I actually
it's
forgot.
horrible.
I hate country. I don't even consider it music. That's why I didn't even
Well,
consider
but
it.
it's you guys are familiar with Bo Burnham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zach, I've played you Bo Burnham.
Bo
right?
Burnham, I know he made that funny song about country.
Yeah,
And that was hilarious.
It's
and
like
it was
the
It
pandering.
was spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, so
And that's
it's-
exactly how I feel about new country today. Like if you go back and you listen to Johnny Cash or Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson.
I
Hank
like Willie
Williams-
Nelson.
Yeah,
I
Hank
had a-
Williams, Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
Or even
Merle Haggard. You keep going all the
Do
way
you
back.
like outlaw country music?
Outlaw country.
like the kind Cheryl does on Archer.
Outlaw country. No, well, because I mean, wasn't Willie Nelson kind of outlaw country too?
Yeah, he had that kind of off-centered vibe to him.
Mhm.
You know, he was like really not straight-laced like all the older country artists
Sure.
were. And he kind of set the stage for a lot of country artists to come in and just kind of talk about boozing and smoking weed and fucking having a good time like Hank Williams Jr. did. And that's why I hate about country music today is they'll always name drop. You know, like, hey, I'm listening to a Willie Nelson song. It's like, no, you're not. Because if you are, it's not being produced anyway like your shitty music. You sound
No.
like Nickelback with a fiddle. And it's
Jesus Christ.
it's
Nice.
it's horrible.
Nice.
Luke Bryan, Sam Hunt, Florida Georgia Line, y'all can die.
Wow.
I
Dang,
hate it,
That
dude.
is
Alright.
officially.
Now, what do you consider besides what you named already old country? Because I don't think of them even really as a country. When I think of old country, I think of like the Allman Brothers, like Ramblin' Man, or
Oh, that's
Great-
like the Southern rock. There's a difference.
yeah, that's Southern rock.
Like Leonard
That-
Skinner, Allman Brothers,
I
that's
see-
Southern rock.
So that's just to me. I consider that countryist. I know it's not countryist, but it has that feel to it.
Sure, it's got
Because
it's got a
even,
twanginess to it.
Even the other people like Willie Nelson stuff, I know that they're great. I mean, they're obviously a big step up from modern country. I'm sad
Well, I will say
acknowledge
this about modern country. There's one modern country artist that I love without a doubt, and that's Chris Stapleton.
Mhm.
He has been around the Nashville scene for years. He's wrote songs for Adele, for Luke Bryan, all these other huge stars. And he finally is going off on his own. He came out with his first album called The Traveler 2015, and then he came out with another one from the A Room this year. and he is outstanding.
Oh yeah, name another one of his albums.
He's only got 2.
Name an EP.
He's only had, he
name-
did some band, some southern band
Oh,
before
yeah?
that. I'm
What
talking
was the
about
name
him
of
solo.
that Southern band?
I don't know. Why are you doing this to me, dude?
Because I need to know if you're fake or not.
I'm
Okay?
fake. Okay. All right.
Fake.
You got me. I don't like any of those kind of music.
You're right. You're right.
You got me.
You like Katy Perry. Actually, I kind of like Katy
Macklemore
Perry.
and
What?
Yo,
Do people
Macklemore's not.
I do like Justin Timberlake too.
Wait,
I
why
do
would
like
people
that.
not like them? They have mainstream songs.
Macklemore's
They're
good.
catchy.
I like their songs. Or
I
his
mean,
song.
not
I guess,
everything
But when he
they
was
do
working
is-
with Ryan Lewis, that whole album was awesome.
Cool.
I don't know why you gotta diss Macklemore like that.
Because I don't like him.
But are you serious? Like you just don't like him in general?
I don't
or-
know. I don't like his music.
Really? Why? It's just like
Have
not-
I named any rap artist?
You don't like rappers
these?
at all.
I like a couple, and it's
Yeah.
only like a select few of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I've played a bunch of rap always. Well,
But
in
I
the
don't
car.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'll
Okay.
listen to it.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
Some of the lyrics are really deep and
Yeah.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Like Watsky, you play
Yeah.
me Watsky
Oh,
all
I
the
play
time.
Watsky all the time.
I like some of Logic's songs. Of course, I like
play
Eminem.
all the time.
But
You can rap Eminem. Yo,
Sure.
Blake can rap. You know, Rap God by Eminem.
Yeah,
Blake can do that.
sure.
Like
really.
spotless. We were
I'm not gonna
we
ask
were
them.
Yeah,
going,
don't ask me to do it.
we're going up to Windstar. It was
Oh,
for your birthday,
yeah.
right?
It
your
was for
birthday?
my 20th birthday.
Yeah.
Me,
So we go,
you, my girlfriend, and Matt and Connor.
yeah, we go up to Windstar and we're driving and we play Rap God and then this guy goes off just to like because I wanted to hear him rap and I don't think any of his other friends knew about it. So we were going to it and got to the vast part. I just turned it down so the music wasn't playing and this guy just raps the whole thing and then I turn it back up and he's back on beat with it and it was really awesome, dude.
That's what happens when you have no life senior year of high school, and that's all you did in class.
I
memorize the lyrics.
I do want to point out right here that we do have some confirmed sightings of other people not liking a particular person and or group at all or any of their stuff. But yeah, it's weird for me to not like the Beatles.
Yes,
'cause,
it
like,
is.
the Beatles are an icon. Like
That's
it's-
all they are, an icon.
Do you like the Rolling Stones?
Of course.
Of course. Well, because it's just I don't know, man. The Beatles were like they brought color to music.
Yeah,
They were-
They were. I can say that yes, they were responsible for a lot of other stuff, but
Beatles,
I don't like them just because they were responsible for stuff, or
Yeah.
that they're an icon doesn't make them good.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a great example
Macklemore
of
is
being.
obviously well, not obviously. could
Zach,
be
talking
seen
to the
as an
mic. Quit trying
I'm
to-
sorry. I'm sorry.
He's like moving his head.
Macklemore,
Go ahead.
Macklemore could be seen as an icon for rapping
I don't know if he's an
about
icon.
about specific topics that hadn't been done before.
There, real quick, hold on. I'm gonna pause you real quick. There's a song by Macklemore. I forget the name of the title, but he's rapping about lean and stuff like that, and not like hey party and drinking lean, blah, 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 but like the serious alterations and like the life changing impact that it does.
Sure.
And I have to play it to you later. It's really good. Like
Sure.
it's got a good bait. It's got a good beat. He actually
Bite.
remixed it with Ryan Lewis. I don't really like the remix version, but I think they probably the production that they used, they weren't. I don't think it was technically theirs. So if they wanted to release it and make money off of it, they had to remix it. But anyways, aside from that, continue, Zach. It's a really good song.
No,
Okay.
I don't think we were on me. Blake
I'm-
just went over what he was liking.
Well, I mean, you were tangenting off of Macklemore being an icon.
Oh,
no,
Ed Sheeran too.
that was all. I was just going to comment.
Oh,
Anybody
okay.
could be seen as an icon or be
Yeah.
responsible for future stuff. That
Sure.
doesn't make them good.
I think the thing with the Beatles though, it was the right place at the right time. You
Yeah,
know,
they were like
it
one of the
was-
first ones on the scene.
Right.
It's
and
called
so-
Monopoly.
Right.
No, because there were a bunch of other bands out
The
there.
Stones
the
were
Animals.
starting their time too.
Yeah, there were a bunch of other
All
similar
that,
bands.
all of that was starting up in that around the same time.
But they
though.
just
It was
they
new.
had I think also one thing that I don't know if it gets talked a lot about, but they just had like the presence and the look and
Yeah.
you know, sure
Marketing.
the Rolling Stones would fucking go crazy at their concerts and
Self-marketing.
like, you know, Mick Jagger would just like do coke on stage or something while he's
Sure.
you know, rocking
oh,
out.
Queen, by the way, forgot about Queen.
Oh, Queen's great. We were actually Zach and I were jamming out to
Oh
Queen
my God,
earlier.
Queen.
I was like honestly, okay.
Yes.
So real quick, totally side verging. So it was like, you know, 80-ish in the 80s, low 80s today. It was so beautiful. You know, drive with the windows down. So when I was going to pick up Zach from class, windows down, going through "Don't Stop Me Now" playing. It was just so it was beautiful. Like it was amazing, and I loved it. And just it was good. Queen is really good.
It's magical moment.
Honestly, though, like real talk, I only have their greatest hits 1, 2, 3, whatever. And, like I don't have individual albums and stuff like that. I'm not like, oh yeah, I love this album from this thing. But I mean, just there's so many songs on their greatest hits that it's just like I feel like
that's kind of how I am with Zeppelin.
All encompassing.
Or not? No, I love all the Led Zeppelin albums.
Oh yeah,
for the last one.
Name
the front door.
Name two, other
Led
than
Zeppelin
that one.
1 and 2.
No, that's cheating.
Led
You
Zeppelin
named 3.
and
Yeah.
4.
All right.
Ah!
So great, man.
Bum ba da dum ba dum ba da ba dum.
Screw the Beatles.
So
Zeppelin
we've
is
been
the greatest rock band of all time.
myself and Blake now with a lot of our stuff. But what about you?
Yeah, Yuval, what you listen to?
No, nothing. I don't listen
When
to
you
music.
listen to
I don't
music.
You don't listen
No.
to music?
Again, like I said,
Therapeutic ocean sounds.
I listen to rainforest and birds chirping. No, so probably when I was young, I would definitely listen to what my dad listened to. Steely Dan. He put the Beatles on my iPod, and I was listening to it. There are a few other artists that I can't remember the name right now that just like if it gets played, I'm like, oh shit, triggering memory of my childhood, remembering playing in the car. Like the Guess Who. Because there was for the longest time, there was a song, the song "Undone." She's gone undone.
Yeah.
Do and it had the piccolo and stuff like that. For the longest time, I couldn't like. I remember listening to it in my dad's car, and it was just like so beautiful, and I loved it, and it was great. But I couldn't remember what it was. I was like, oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then I found it was the Guess Who, and I was like.
And it's great when you finally find that one song.
And you figure it out and you know the name.
That
is
is
great.
that is I understand that just as a side thing. It is magical when you heard a song in your childhood and you never really knew what it was or you can't remember.
Yeah.
And then you find it later.
And then it's brilliant.
From whatever it was, so a song in the car to just anything you heard on a passing.
Oh yeah.
I remember I had that one with a video game actually that used a concert piece. It was a Game Boy game, Castlevania 2.
Sure.
And they had a electronic version of Pass It Pied by oh my god, I feel so bad. The guy who did Claire de Lune.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
that guy.
I forgot his name. I feel so bad. The guy's a legend. Anyway, but it was on the game.
Right.
And I remember hearing the song later at a different time, the actual piano version, and being like,
oh, what? What is this?
I know this song, but
yeah,
this is piano.
Exactly.
Wasn't that a game song?
Right.
And once I figured it out,
Claude Debussy.
Debussy. Claude Debussy.
I love Debussy.
Michael Bay.
I feel so bad.
Michael Bay. Michael Bublé was really good.
Oh yeah.
There was a Family Guy skit where he's like, he goes to like France or something.
Oh, I love Debussy.
Well, no,
Oh,
not
that one? No,
not
that's
that
another
one.
Family Guy
It
bit.
was just like
I know what you're talking about.
he was like he goes by Michael Bubble, but then he goes to France and then he's like, is
Bublé.
there man Michael Bublé? And he's like, Bublé. I like that. But
have you seen the SNL skit where John Hamm is the host and he starts up this restaurant called Ham and Bubbly? And he kidnaps Michael Bublé
really?
and makes him like, and he's
funny.
like, my last name is Bublé. It's like, well, Ham and Bublé doesn't rhyme, so we're going with Bubbly.
Ham and Bubbly. Yeah, I don't watch SNL that much.
Yeah, it was an older skit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, when was that?
SNL kind of went
Fuck
down.
you, man. I don't know.
But anyways, back to my time.
Yeah, go.
No, real quick. So listen to that and kind of classic when I was younger, but it was primarily the Beatles. Like again, like I said, started with the Revolver, had Sgt. Pepper, moved on to like Abbey Road, the White Album, all that good stuff. And then I actually Rock Band
Muse.
1 that comes later in life.
Yeah, it
but
does.
Rock Band 1 and 2 was I think when we were in middle school, maybe early high school when that came out.
School.
Yeah, and so I actually got my dad to just load all the Rock Band soundtracks because like I didn't know the artists, I didn't know anything like that.
on it.
Yeah, and I just had that as a playlist on my iPod for a while, and then it was into high school when I converted and I started expanding my music and the game Muse and Cage the Elephant and
Which is
and then,
part of the reason me and you are friends.
that is pretty much solely the reason why we're friends. It's just because of Muse.
Muse.
Whenever you guys are fighting, I just listen to Muse
And then
everything's
everything
cool again.
over
calms down.
Xbox.
Muse. Oh yeah. Oh dude,
Muse
fucking
over
playing
Xbox
Mass Effect
before-
3 and just listening to like Undisclosed Desires or something like
Oh,
that.
man.
Unnatural Selection. Oh, so good.
Those like songs.
Those
or
are songs.
something?
Those are songs. Yeah, off of their Resistance album. So good.
Dude.
Of course.
But anyway, so yeah, and then expanded that, and then I started getting to rap. I think probably my senior year.
You became a wigger.
No, whoa, hey,
No.
whoa, hey, no. I started with Eminem, and
What'd I say?
I don't know what you said. It's okay. But anyways, listen to him, expanded it to a few other rappers, and I don't know. I just feel now is just I've kind of got a diverse, like on my. I think for the most part on my phone, I've got like alternative rock, mostly hip hop, rap, classic rock, obviously. I actually do have a few classical, like again, Chopin and Beethoven and stuff like that. I've got a few of their symphony, orchestra, whatever pieces if you want to call them. And then trying to think what
You
else.
got any Hans Zimmer on your phone?
No, I don't have Hans Zimmer.
No.
No, I know he's a really good composer. He's good.
Yeah, we all played games that were Modern Warfare 2, baby.
Yeah, right.
On Zimmer soundtrack.
But yeah, and then I don't know. I still feel like my roots, like literally, and I tried a while back. I tried just doing this. Is I closed my eyes and then I put the whole Beatles, all their 200 plus 300 songs, whatever, on shuffle, and I just played. Give me 3 seconds, I know it. Play it, 3 seconds, I know it. Like it was just, I was so invested in
All
the
right,
Beatles.
bet.
Go for it. All right, yeah, dude, fucking do
We're
it.
doing this.
Dude, fucking do it.
Oh man.
I may. There's
No, he's gonna call me out about not
Dude,
knowing.
you're right. You're right. Let's do it. I think my only issue is the White Album.
Oh,
not-
good thing that's all I have.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's all you have. Yeah. Okay.
Get
All right, we'll see.
fucked.
All right, you
All right,
ready?
let's do it real quick. Go ahead. Oh, Buffalo Bill.
Fuck. Off to a good start. That was an easy one.
Oh, yeah, that was an easy one.
Yeah.
It's game
There we
time
go.
with Yuval. I know the song. Until I have to on. We can work it out.
Okay.
We can work it out. Paperback Writer.
Oh, that's not fair. All right, fine, you win.
But yeah,
Wow. Okay.
God, wasn't that an
God,
interesting-
that's impressive.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
No.
I'm waiting so hard for them to do like a Guess That Song Beatles edition on the Fine Brothers, because they're just two Jewish guys who like listen to the exact same music as I listen to, and I've like said do this, and I think like people want it, but it's whatever. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Maybe they don't like the Beatles.
No, they do love the Beatles, and they've talked about the Beatles on their podcast, I think, and just in general and stuff like that. So yeah, I love the Beatles. But anyways, yeah, I still can jam out to classic rock because I know we've jammed out a bunch of times in your card of classic rock. But I don't know.
And
Yeah.
now we're into lo-fi.
Oh yeah, lo-fi. Let's bring it back. All right.
All right,
So
what is lo-fi?
lo-fi is essentially take a kind of a strip down a hip hop beat to you're gonna have
ambient.
an ambient hip hop beat with a lot of bass, not like blah, 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 bass, but just like you've got your bass,
Like a
your-
calm motor.
like think
bass.
about a drum set, just someone playing a drum set, kind of redistribute some sounds and synthesize it a little bit, and then if you want to add kind of like a vinyl that static, it's not static, but that vinyl sound whenever you're playing it, I can't remember. Yeah, the crackling sound from the vinyl, add that a little there, and then just kind of slow it down and sort of. It's all instrumental. There's no singing or anything. It's very calm.
Relaxed.
It's definitely something that you can just play in the back.
It's
and
continuous.
It's continuous.
It's
yeah.
like a never-ending type of song.
Yeah. And so there's like channels on YouTube like 24/7 lo-fi hip hop channels, and it's just literally you play it, and it's something listening to. I'm just listening to music while you're listening to lo-fi. Writing, doing homework, playing games, whatever it is, you can have it in the
It's
back.
definitely something that you like if you're doing something and you kind of want to listen to music.
Mhm.
It's the kind of thing you can listen to.
Yeah, it's
It
definitely.
works just like classical music, where you can listen
Yeah.
to classical music while you do things.
Yeah, and-
except with modern stuff.
And
okay.
what I really like about the lo-fi is if you're branching off and going onto a different direction, because the issue that I have with a lot of my music that I listen to is that I know the melody, I know the lyrics, like I can it'll get stuck in my head where, oh, here comes the chorus, let me sing the chorus, wait, now I'm distracted from what I'm working on. But with lo-fi and pieces of classical music that I've listened to, even then I'm not 100% familiar with it. So with lo-fi, I can't really guess the melody.
And part of it is that's why it works,
Yeah.
because with a lot of classical music, how it functions is that even though it has structure, it's sort of unpredictable the
Mhm.
way that the sound moves.
Mhm.
So unless you've listened to something, I mean, even if you've listened to a classical piece over and over and over again, it can be very difficult for you to remember what exactly comes next.
So it stays in the back, and it's like, okay,
it becomes something that like that, like you said, stays in the back, and because you're not focused on, oh, here comes the part. It's more of it's there. It's ambient.
So, but yeah, lo-fi is really, and I think it's becoming more and more popular. You're starting to see it a lot more. I don't know if you're into watching active YouTubers and stuff like that, but I know some gaming channels and stuff like that, their intros will be kind of lo-fi-esque. Okay. So it's really great. I mean, honestly, you just go to YouTube and just type in 24/7 lo-fi hip-hop, and that'll give you just the best introduction to it. So, plus, plus, chats are really funny because you have a live 24/7 chat, and so people at like 3 a.m. will be like, "Hey, who's up and doing blah, 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 blah," and they'll say really stupid stuff and whatever. But
typical online chats.
Well, of course, but yeah, we've hit over an hour. And
I forgot about Tom Petty. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers also.
Tom Petty's
favorite.
That's a great note to hit on.
Top 5 favorite bands.
Yeah, Tom Petty's good. No, you're good.
Sorry.
Well, what are your top 5 bands? Go.
What?
Top 5 to end off the podcast. Top 5 bands. Blake, go.
In no particular order.
No, I need an order.
You need an order? Sorry.
Fine. No particular order.
Led Zeppelin.
Okay, 1.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. AC/DC. Got to put them on there.
Sure.
Man, that number 5 spot. I don't know. Probably just from listening to it so much with my grandparents and my dad, I've got to go with Hank Williams Jr.
Aw, isn't that sentimental? Zach?
That's hard for me, man.
Come on, man.
I love everything across many genres, so it's hard for me to pick a top 5 because it's not. I can say top 5, but it's not going to be really accurate. With the exception, Muse goes number 1.
Of course.
Muse is number 1. I can easily. That's easy.
Sure.
Everything else, I.
All right. Well, then give us your top 3.
I can't do that either.
All right. Well, give us.
I'll give you 5. So we'll have Muse number 1.
Sure.
But these next 4
out of order. It's fine.
All right. I like Dave Brubeck's Quartet.
Okay.
Caravan Palace.
Okay.
That. Bronze Radio Return.
Okay. Come on, you got this, Zach. Come on.
And Chopin.
There you
go.
Love me
some Chopin.
Man,
Chopin.
Those are other than Muse and Chopin. I don't know.
I'm about to say I know one of those bands.
Really? Oh,
I just know Muse.
Wow, I feel so unique.
There you go. You're a hipster of music.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm not. I'm probably most likely behind, to be honest.
I'll go with, again, I'm not going to do an order just because Blake didn't do an order, so I don't feel like I have to conform. No, I don't want you to. I don't want to do an order. I already know your top 5. Let's see. I'll have to go with Muse.
Wait. You said no particular order. Bitch, you just made us all do orders.
No, but I said Blake didn't do an order.
Oh, okay.
He said in no particular order.
Right,
You're the one that did an order. Good for you.
No, I didn't do an order. Only the first one.
Well, okay, all right.
Are we doing this?
Yeah, no particular order. Muse.
But Muse is number 1.
Oh God.
The
Okay.
Beatles.
Yeah. Okay. I've got like a top 10. I'm gonna do a top 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Muse, the Beatles, Logic. Shoot on my jute. I really like Cage the Elephant. I'll always be jamming out when they're playing music, especially their new Unpeeled album is just brilliant.
Haven't had a chance to listen yet.
I think I've played a few songs for you on there. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly just blanking. I'm gonna cheat. I'm cheating. I gotta look at my library.
Well, Nirvana for me is
it's hard, man. You can't make us do that on the spot. I realize.
Nirvana.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Nirvana. Nirvana has got to be top 10, number 6 if anything.
Okay, I'm scrolling through and I'm
just find the artist with the most songs. That should be fair. That should be
the
fair.
most songs.
Yeah.
Sort by songs. Yeah.
No.
It'd be really funny if he had just all of Lady Gaga's
Oh.
albums.
Shh, don't tell him about that. Oh, okay. My Morning Jacket's pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. Rush is really good, but I wouldn't say I'm the best fan. Oh, I'll just go with Watsky. I'll end it with Watsky.
So
So
we got one more.
no, I got
Muse, the Beatles,
Logic, Cage the Elephant, and Watsky.
I'm
No, you
so
didn't.
sorry. I
Golly.
cannot count.
Well, golly me.
I love how I'm the only one with like a rapper artist on mine. I'm too lame.
It's just
I'm
because
a
I was
lame-o.
under
A rapper is
pressure.
in my top 10, but
No, yeah, that's true.
so it's
No, you're right. All right. Well, we've shittily ended this podcast. I really appreciate everybody sticking it to the end. So hopefully the plan would be I'm gonna do maybe like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That would be the plan. Just upload as much as I can, get out the content as much as I can. I don't know. We'll figure out scheduling and timing and stuff like that, because I think originally this was supposed to be Monday, but since Monday was Labor Day, it was kind of a off day for everybody. But yeah, so I'll try and get on a schedule for everybody. The plan is to have a Patreon, so if you guys really enjoyed all this content, definitely I'm starting a Patreon, and we'll actually have bonus conversations and extra stuff that aren't necessarily safe for work, and other topics that are really stupid and everything. So if you enjoyed the banter now, just wait until you hear the really, really awesome banter with subscribing to be a Patreon.
Elegantly put.
Oh, thank you very much. But yeah, so this is going to go out on, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, maybe SoundCloud. We'll figure it out.
MySpace for sure.
MySpace, Facebook, all those good social media.
CompuServe.
But yeah, I really appreciate it. Again, the official title we have for this podcast is the One More Podcast. So...
Okay.
What? Where is that coming from?
Come on, guys. One More Podcast.
One more podcast.
The podcast.
All right, one more podcast.
I thought it was the pick 5.
Big 5.
I thought it was Rainbow Siege.
The Hitman mechanics, new updated Hitman mechanics. But yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone listening, and hopefully we will see you next time. Peace, everybody.
Bye.